everyone, welcome back to more Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. Last time we left off, we did the final investigation of this game, and now we're going on to the final trial of this game. And in between episodes, I had a realization. I know who Shuichi's mother is, and it is... Did I say Shuichi? Oh my... Apollo. I don't know why I keep mixing them up. I don't know why, but... Apollo. Sorry. Apollo. Because he's the same voice, and I haven't played as him in like a couple days, so I don't remember him. But he was kind of using the context clues of... When I saw her picture, I was like, oh, that looks really familiar. And then I was like, it's probably a coincidence. I'm sure, you know, you have so many designs of a game, whatever. And then, she's not really dead. And then, from there, you have to be like, well, if they're playing it up this bad, it must be somebody we already know. And then I was like, wait a minute. Who doesn't have a past? And then it hit me. And I'm not going to say who, just in case people want to go into this super blind, which is totally cool, good for them. But that's when it hit me, and I was like, oh, the person who had little to no bearing on one of the cases in this game now makes a lot more sense. So, yeah. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Courtroom number 3. Preparations complete. What is going on? Oh, I still don't. Something inside me. Rising. Surfacing. Who is this? I just assumed it was Vera. Or is it me? It might be me, actually. I might be speaking. Or is it me? I don't know. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. What? I don't understand. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atrocinin poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. Also, I'm mad. My friend told me they never, ever, Trucy and Apollo never find out they're siblings. I don't know why Phoenix doesn't tell them. But I'm mad now. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. So, oh god, I have to... Wait. What? I got all of his stuff too? What? What? Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right, if Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not gonna let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. Ah, I see. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well, your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with atrocinin, the same exact poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict.
What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. And then died. No. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was.
Prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned.
I got two things to prove here. Who did it and how. Which to hit first. I can show... I know who did it. I don't know how they did it. Just who poisoned Vera, Miss Ham? I have a name for you. Just a moment there, Forehead. You are aware this is an accusation you're making. I think a bit of a risk is in order. This much to be precise. I understand. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time.
Well, let's hear it. Who poisoned Vera Miss Ham? Christoph Gavin, obviously. Well, what's this? Christoph Gavin?
What's your game? My bro. There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else.
Indeed. He's behind bars.
I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Christoph Gavin had the opportunity to poison Vera Miss Ham.
Apparently, the defense has something in mind. Let's see what it is. How did Christoph Gavin, currently in solitary confinement, poison her? I think it's the nail polish, but I'm not entirely sure, so I'm going to say it. Yes! What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand.
Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah, something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all.
So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it?
Prosecutor Gavin has told us this is nail polish.
Nail polish.
It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails?
Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time.
Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying in the court?
Court is now back in session.
Vera seems pretty tense. She's frankly chewing her fingernails clean. Oh. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails.
Her nails? Ah!
Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails?
Belief! Have them check the defendant's nails at once!
Christoph Gavin didn't have to poison that bottle the day of the poisoning, Your Honor. The moment Vera first held that bottle in her hand, her fate was sealed.
But wait, this business about Christoph Gavin giving her that bottle is only conjecture. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. Oh! That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all.
That was some lag. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness.
Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand.
Belief. Begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing at Solitary Cell 13 at Central Prison.
Cool. Wow, this is already getting pretty crazy. Huh, I'm back.
Ah, Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never.
I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin.
Ah, Mr. Justice. Here you've been doing quite well for yourself.
Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it. This bottle looked familiar.
Eridoni nail polish? Why yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear.
She's not dead yet.
And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish.
Her taste indeed. The nail polish was how Vera Miss Ham was poisoned.
Atraquinin, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Wright talks a lot. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk. I have nothing to do but to read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this.
You're being accused again. By him again.
Ah, and? You agree with his accusation, do you? Ooh, let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Miss Ham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Poisoning Vera. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. What? I
don't think that's right.
I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. Prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too.
Except we're gonna use the letter.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Miss Hams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss, but I do know he poisoned the Miss Hams. Question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? I think the bottle was always poisoned. From the date. Oh! Never mind, we have this thing, so.
Oh, I didn't even realize he had a scar there.
It's creepy.
Oh! There it is. Oh, God, that took a while to find, but I finally got it. His veins, like, pop out there. Boom!
It was you who killed Drew Misham.
A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally. A little devil appeared to give you the news.
And, let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too?
Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get someone's mouth.
Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my new solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is.
But you found a way, all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Misham.
It's the red letter, you fool. Are you being dumb? Oh, well, actually, I guess it's the stamp. More.
I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Quinine was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin.
So I might understand the stamp was the murder weapon.
Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell.
Got him. I love these moments when you get them. I love this power. It's probably one of my favorite parts of this game.
That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp?
After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Dad? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What?
My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yeah, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp.
What are you getting at?
What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case, or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence. He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What?
Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now.
He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called.
The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph.
Clavier?
Honestly, I wanted to believe you, but the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Christoph.
What are you saying? Prosecutor Gavin!
Their forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, ja? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned? Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. coincidence. Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it?
What are you up to, Clavier?
I could ask you the same question, Christoph.
I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. Well, Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well, I shall take his claim head on then. Justice.
What?
You accuse me of Drew Missham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive! He's talking about a motive!
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive.
A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when you make your statement.
I say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice?
I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
Then, let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? Well, that's easy, Your Honor, because there's one thing that he made that he doesn't want people to know about.
Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place.
And why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Going back 7 years, Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnified Grammarized diary. Ah, when Attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented, to his loss.
This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second.
All those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery.
Excuse me, sorry. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious, trying to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery.
To keep them from talking.
But he made a mistake. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Herr Forehead, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. According to adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright! Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
Received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday.
Understand, I'm asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards,
and that was enough.
Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin!
Order! 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 What is the meaning of this? Witness! I mean, defendant! Former lawyer! Let me begin by denying this.
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin.
And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Here, Forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago.
Clavier.
Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear, I'm off this case! You must have thought of some evidence. Apollo? Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham?
I don't know, actually. Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it!
It can be proven.
Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am.
Oh, he called me Apollo.
Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham. I have no idea. Of course, the letter, I'm stupid.
This evidence proves there's a link.
That scrap of paper. I'm afraid I can't let you submit that.
Is there some problem?
There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey, that's Dad's handwriting.
What? Oh no. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What's the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there.
Phoenix Wright?
When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright is yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it is a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell. He brought with him a small video camera.
What?
He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail.
Ugh. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video. A man with no authority whatsoever claims he took... A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin?
As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Oh no. Bad ending? Wait. Okay. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Yes, thank you! Oh, I love you. The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph?
Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret.
Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours?
Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really important to you. You amuse me, your forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Air Right? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might they request we put the current cross-examination on hold? Prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment, you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... what? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence.
Ah!
Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page.
Don't do this, Clavier!
I know because you told me, Kristoff! What? It was the night before the trial.
Clavier.
Kristoff? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial.
Ah, I won't be appearing in the trial, actually.
Huh? Why not?
I won't be facing off with you in your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information.
Information?
The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness.
Then, I wondered about it at the time. How did Kristoff know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Kristoff, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnify's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin? My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest.
You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial.
Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo, I think we're finally gonna shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough.
7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, ZachSongZ. 2 cards. 1 card. We have the same voice. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Kristoff Gavin.
I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me, and with that pitiful excuse for a man, he deserved to die for that error alone.
Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was...
Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and ZachSongZ both deserved what I got.
So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as ZachSongZ's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me the information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him.
You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly.
Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself.
What are you talking about, Clavier?
Tell me, how did that trial end?
Cancelled when the defendant vanished.
Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years.
What?
You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance, so you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years.
You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day, for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalist sure he's being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramrai got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Wait just a minute. Zach Gramrai was seen by this reporter. How was that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years?
Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramrai gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him! Right, leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler.
I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic.
The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Gramrai. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know?
Oh. Did she know the entire time? Oh no. Oh, we were the ones being left in the dark. Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this?
It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnify Grammarai's death, started it. Magnify Grammarai's death and his student, Zach Grammarai, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew
Misham?
Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin?
Precautions?
To keep people from talking, of course.
These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble.
That's when you find your poisoning of the forgers. Hatroquinin, a blind dual commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off.
His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see.
That wasn't the only bomb he'd set up. The Aerodoni nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails.
Ah!
That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely have to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance.
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous, and the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. I hope you guys can't hear that. If you can, well, oops.
If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time.
Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said?
Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction.
What?
Clavier, surely you understand.
We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the actual criminal that took Drew Misham's life. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramrai to keep him from talking.
I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you'd like. The victim was a traveler, by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Okay, then why did you kill him?
I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No, but you were doing so good, Apollo.
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What?
Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor!
Mr. Justice, you performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier?
Unfortunately, yes, Christoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now, because of the juris system, right?
What?
Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. That's right! I'd totally forgotten. The juris system!
Jurist, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Trusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of rational mouth breathers. Common citizens has something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense! There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say!
They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera.
How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen, was Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright. Oh, yes. We got him. So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. We got him! Oh, we finally saw him freak out. Yes, that's all I needed in this game. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your courts.
Christoph, it's over.
Clavier.
The law is absolute. You can't be serious.
What?
Odd. I thought you'd spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors and tribulations. Now, is this the fruit we receive and pass on, or face in our time? And it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is, and I'll fight to change if I have to.
I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision, jurors of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. My friend told me about this part. This is where you get the good ending or the bad ending. So, I didn't know we'd actually be playing as the jurors, but he said, there will be a point in the trial when they say innocent or guilty, and if you choose guilty, you get the bad ending, and it's really sad. This ends the trial for the case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care.
If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The facts involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Missam's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided to each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please, wait!
Yes, jurist number 6?
There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with this case may not be jurists.
Wait. What? Who? Wait. I might know who this is? That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. The development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. I'm gonna go with, Yep, I thought that's who it was. Not guilty. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Yes. Oh, it took so long, but And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. I knew it was Lamroar. I knew it. I called that. Yes. I didn't say the name because I was like, I don't want people to be spoiled, but inside I knew. I was like, she doesn't have a past, right? She forgot it. Why would they do that if they weren't planning to bring it up later? And then, yeah, she's Apollo's dad. Mother. Oh my god. Apollo's mom. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any heard before or since. What? So he's talking about this in the future? A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial, in an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Oh, we're back here. Wow. Yeah, I knew she wouldn't die. Vera, I'm so glad. Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera, Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry I had to see us like this. Vera. Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you'd never bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. Looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Aww. Oh, look, it's me. I love it. Thanks. Are you gonna draw me too? Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Dad. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean that stack of videos? Just right finished watching them all? Wow. You know, I knew my real dad was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammar after all.
Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my dad now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Dad? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mom. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection!
Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyways.
I like Mr. Hat. He's funny.
Here I am.
So, your memory's returned.
Yep, there it is. Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan, too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lammeror. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists.
Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone, but now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This, too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you gonna tell them?
They do not know.
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you.
I'll tell them in Phoenix Wright 9.
They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside.
Aww.
Aw, that's really sad. Your bracelet.
Yes?
I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years, but your bracelets were the strangest of all.
It's me!
I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That was why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory is returned. I am myself once more, for the first time. I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright.
Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. You can only hope she's as glad as you are.
It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for.
And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we'd found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel. Here comes justice!
Objection! Nice.
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammar. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks Dad.
Trucy Grammar, frankly I got my doubts, but Hat Grammar, now that'll pack 'em. Wow. This is the end. Wow, it's crazy. This game is definitely a lot shorter than the last couple ones.
It's not every day you get to draw that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. Aww. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide.
Well, you lost your guitarist too, so.
You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session.
Oh, this is cool. They're lining up all our friends. Except he's not really our... Well, no, I'd say Clavier's... Yeah, I'd call him a friend.
Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. I'm sad he never pulled off his hat and he added like his Sonic hair back again. That would have been amazing. I would have loved that so much, but oh well. Oh, hello, air conditioning. All I hear is Shuichi worked on this game. Oh yeah, I was barely in this case, God. So, I was standing around eating snackers the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Yeah, Emma, you were probably the weakest link in this game. It was cool to see you come back, but I don't know. You didn't really have a footprint in this game. Excuse my pun. Should have said a fingerprint. Dang it. Oh, really? You? In a likely event you are waiting for a Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing cold in the restaurant is borscht. Yeah, but if greater talent is being required, then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. I don't really care about you, to be honest. I'll get more into what I think about the overall game once the credits are fully over, but for now, let's just enjoy them.
Oh, it's me again. So, Kentucky Pastry's getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time!
This is how we write root, capiche?
But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time!
And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Oh, kids. Yeah, the cases on this game were definitely, the cases themselves are probably one of the weakest in the series. Bizoy, Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that. Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker. For real. I know it doesn't look like no cracker, G. What? You want me to call it the OG muffin? I don't want to see you either. You were annoying, and I didn't like you. I didn't really like any of the characters in this game. Like, I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I didn't mind Guy, actually, he was cool. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? No news is about the salt. Salt forever. I don't really want to see every character in this game, if I'm being perfectly honest. Don't make me see the stupid kid again, I swear to God. No! This guy sucked. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unvictory adoration in my department. So they used to call me Wesley Stinkler. Now they call me Wesley Stickly Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. I hate you. Wow. Not very many people for a localization team. But... Oh, okay. There we go. A bit more people, but still, it's not a whole lot. Special thanks, Ryuji Yamamoto, Asuka Hayashi. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I'll think of them when I write my next song. We'll meet... I'm not going to tell you I'm your mom, though. Apollo's dad just shows up and is like, Hey, I'm alive too. I faked my death.
Brushel, 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 Brushel. Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. How I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mint condition. End quote. I didn't hate Brushel. He could be sort of annoying, but he was fun. And that's all I really need.
I decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. Suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
I love how Shuichi like fixed all these people's lives, basically. Oh, no. Oh, Shu Takumi. He's the big. Oh, yay! I love it. It's the Grammar family. Any final scene before the game cuts out? Nope. And that's the end. Okay. Well. That was a very, very fun game. I really enjoyed that. I think this is probably my third favorite. I think, so how my list goes right now is Trials and Tribulations, Justice for All, Apollo Justice, and then Phoenix Wright. Because the original Phoenix Wright I wasn't a huge fan of until Case 4, so yeah. This game deals with characters that I don't really care about. I love the main cast. Don't get me wrong. I love Apollo. I love Trucy. I like the new Phoenix. I thought it was a very interesting way to do a take on the character. I love Clavier. He was cool, and I love doing his voice too. That was fun. I thought Kristoff was cool because at the beginning of the game you were like, oh, this is going to be like my Mia of the game. He'll probably die at some point. Oh, he's the killer. What I didn't like is almost every chapter there was like only one character I actually liked. And this game also kind of suffered from being predictable. Like almost every time I'd guess who the killer was within the first couple of things. And I know people will say, well, that's not the point of these games. It's not like Danganronpa where the entire mystery is who killed it. It's how they did it. But there were some points where it's like, once you figure out who it is, you kind of know how they did it at the same time. Which is something I feel like Trials and Tribulations nailed. Even if you could figure it out, you'd be like, how on earth did they do it, though? That's what I really loved. Which they didn't do very well in this game. I didn't like the fingerprint stuff. I thought it was kind of stupid. I thought the toe print stuff was stupid. I thought getting the certain mix right was also kind of stupid. I didn't mind the one where you have to the printing one. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was creative enough that it was fun. Like I said, Emma was kind of the weakest returning character of this game because I feel like she didn't do a whole lot. And I know she did a lot in the actual cases, but what did she do to the overall story that made it better? And I'm going to say not a whole lot. What else is there to say? I had another point, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I can't think of anything. I thought... Oh, right. This game also kind of suffers from unsatisfying endings. I thought the actual ending of the game itself was really good, and I love the Lamroar plot twist. The first case's ending was obviously a little bit, not rushed, but you could tell there was more to it. But I knew they were going to go back to it probably in Chapter 4 anyway, so I wasn't upset about that. What upsetted me was when Chapter 2 ended, and I felt very oh, that's it. And that's all it was. And it felt like nothing happened. And Case 3 suffered the usual Case 3 syndrome of literally doing nothing to move the plot forward except for introducing Lamroar. That was all that case did. Nothing else about that case mattered. And Phoenix was barely in it. The entire point of this game was to figure out what happened to him 7 years ago. But, yeah. Overall, I know I'm giving so many negative points on this. I want to get that out of the way, because I did really enjoy this game. I thought it was tons of fun. Even though I didn't think the cases themselves, the characters and stuff in them. I thought the mystery aspect was pretty good. Even if it was a bit predictable, it was fun to go through them, which was cool. I liked learning more about the scenes, stuff like that. And I liked how they give you random evidence so you'd have to figure it out on your own. And yeah, I like all the normal Ace Attorney parts of this game. I thought those were all very well done. I love the new feature, by the way, where you see people's little actions, like how his hand spasmed. I love that. Love that. It's a very different thing as opposed to Phoenix's Megatama, which I thought was cool. I can't wait till they bring that back in like Dual Destinies and stuff. But yeah, I think that about wraps up everything I have to say about this game. It was definitely a fair bit shorter, but I get it because it was kind of the first starting point. And the one thing I will say is there seems to be a lot of loose ends that weren't tied up from Trials and Tribulations to this game, which I don't know if they'll ever go more into. I know Investigations, at least the first one, takes place in between Trials and Tribulations and this, apparently. If the wiki article I read was correct. But I don't know how it goes into it. So I don't know if they explain like where Maya went, where Pearl went, stuff like that. But yeah, so I guess the next question is, are you going to play Investigations right now? And the answer is no, because I have a thing coming in November, and there's no way in heck I'm going to be able to finish Investigations before that happens. So, yeah. But Investigations will be starting December 1st. You can count me to that because I want to play the next game. So, I am going to be taking the rest of October off, which is like a week, I guess, or I guess 6 days for you guys. But I'm going to be recording stuff, and then, yeah. But that's all. Just want to let you know. Oh, new music video coming this Friday, so that's exciting. It's the Set Me Free music video if you're watching this in the future and you want to watch it. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on too much longer now. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked the series. I loved it, and I can't wait to see you guys in Ace Attorney Investigations. Peace out!